So you want to be a role player? Follow me. Welcome to So You Want to Be a Role Player, a show in which I tell you why tabletop role-playing games are beautiful. So, how'd you find out about this roleplay thing? Maybe you saw it on Big Bang Theory. Perhaps you enjoy role-playing video games. Could even be you saw a copy of the D&D Player's Handbook in a local store and started leafing through it. Maybe you got here by accident. In any case, welcome. So what is role-playing? Well, there's two types. One is tabletop role-playing. The other is live-action role-playing. How are they alike? In both, you assume the role of either a player, who takes the role of protagonist, or a game master, who takes the role of narrator/arbiter, and you all take part in a collective story. Let me give you an example. Say there's a guard in front of a building, and you need to get into that building. As a player, you decide how to get past that guard, and as a game master, you help to frame the scene and describe anything not physically there. So how are they different? In the live-action version, players have to talk to the guard in person or physically sneak into the guard's building. In the tabletop version, the game master describes the scene, players describe their actions to the game master, and then the game master tells them if they succeed or fail based on their skills, abilities, and dice rolls. Dice? Don't worry, we'll get to that. I'm not super familiar with LARPing, so I'll be focusing on tabletop role-playing here. No offense to my LARPing brethren. It's just... You're just like the cousin you see once a year at Christmas. You're good people, nice to be around. I just don't know you that well. If all this sounds delightful, welcome to the family. Now, how do we get started? Well, we're going to need a few things. 1. Tabletop role-playing games are a social activity. Find some other folks you love and appreciate. How many? Well, if you're just starting out, I'd suggest 1 person be the game master, and 3 to 6 for the players. You can do it with 1 or 2 people as players, but it requires a slightly different structure. Any more than 6 is probably too much for a new game master. If you're having trouble finding other lovely people to play with, there's a myriad of social media groups and websites designed to get you in contact with other players. Links down below. 2. If you need to carve out some time in your schedule. How much? Just depends how busy you are. If you're a high school or college student, you can easily get away with 4 hours once a week. Once you get a bit older and have kids and a 9-to-5 job, maybe you can only do every other week, or even once a month. Thirdly, we need to decide what game system you want to use. This part will seem a bit daunting. That's okay, we'll work through it together. The granddaddy of RPGs is Dungeons & Dragons, which has been around since the early 70s. Currently in its 5th edition. You can always give that a shot. Maybe you want to try Pathfinder or 13th Age if you want to do fantasy as well. It could be you want a universal game that could do multiple genres, like Fate Core or GURPS. Or perhaps you like sci-fi. You can give Traveller a shot. There are a lot of games for established IPs as well, such as Lord of the Rings, Star Wars, Game of Thrones, and on into the ether. The key is to pick a genre, flavor, and level of complexity that your group likes. Many systems also have starter or free editions if you want to test the system but don't want to commit yet. I'll post some links down below in the description to help you get started. 4th, you need a space to play. This could be a physical place like a living room or dorm common area. It could also be online. There's several websites that host what are called virtual tabletops. These virtual tabletops replicate physical objects like dice, maps, and miniatures on your browser or through an application. More links. Finally, you need the physical objects to play the game. If you're playing in the real, you'll need a few things. Pens and pencils, character sheets, system books, paper for note-taking, and dice or playing cards depending on the system. One thing about the dice. Most folks are familiar with 6-sided dice, either from movies, casinos, or board games. Role-playing games often use specially shaped dice that can have 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, or even 20 sides. There's more than that, but they're not commonly used. You can order those online or through a special hobby shop. More links. There are plenty of apps and the likes for your phone and tablets for these things as well, as dice rollers, note takers, PDFs of character sheets, so on and so forth. If you need to do tactical combat, a wet or dry erase surface is helpful. You also need some tokens and or miniatures to represent characters and game mechanics, give people a better idea of what's physically happening. Access to a printer is nice if you want physical handouts to give to your players as the game master. If you're playing online, all of it's even easier. If you're watching this video, you have everything you need for a virtual tabletop. I would recommend a voice chat system as well. Discord and Skype are both free. The GM should set up a SharePoint as well, so that you can pass documents back and forth between the players. Use whatever works for your group, whether it's OneDrive, Dropbox, Google Drive. Have at it. Now, let me be clear. This is the bare minimum you need to get started. There are many more things to learn and enjoy. If you have any questions, comments, or topics you would like to see, let me know in the comments. Hit those like and subscribe buttons down below, and join me next time on So You Want to Be a Role Player.